Okay, so today I thought I will use this Shiseido cream eyeshadow as a base. It's a really pretty camel color like that. A brush like this and this camel brown from Shiseido in 731. Really creamy and soft. I really enjoy those. Most of it, of course, here close to the lashes, and then just, and also under the eye. So now on to the Camel palette from Natasha, and so I will probably start with this lightest color in the inner corner. I really like this color. It's nice and creamy, and it has a light sheen to it, like a pinky. Oh, it's so pigmented, and I took far too much. If you buff it in, there's like a peachy golden sheen to it. I will pull this one up a little bit here too. I will hold my eye a bit because, you know, you can see that it doesn't go on the same if you have it smooth like that. It looks really nice and smooth. And then when you have wrinkles, you know, you kind of have to help it along a bit and push it in there. I was kind of surprised with this color. I thought it's going to be much more like a, okay, so inner corner highlight, you know. But this one you can really use it also here in the middle. So it gives quite a lot more than you think. So now just a fluffy brush like that for the crease and this middle color here, which is matte and surprisingly creamy. And crease color. Of course, now when I have this base under, it's exactly for this color that I have under. And I will also take it in here, cover this, you know, wrinkles and, you know, loose skin over there a bit with a darker color, so it will be less obvious, as always. The same kind of idea with those things. A little bit lower, I will take the other one. Oh, this one is pretty. Really pretty. A little bit lower down. Let him go a little bit in here with the brow. Okay, so I will take this really nice kind of bronzy brown gold shade with a brush like this. It's like a glitter brush or whatever you call it. It's called something like that. It's from Ashley Vexman. She's an Israeli YouTuber, originally from Canada, I believe, and she had those brushes made, and they're really nice. I think they're really neat. So I'm like pushing this one in here in the middle, a little bit on top of the light one that I already have here. A little bit more. This one is a little bit creamy, I think, the way it goes on. Yeah. Okay, so not too high up. Something like this, maybe. Like that. A little blend. Okay, so now then for the darkest color, I'm using two brushes, I think. One a bit bigger like that, and then one angled brush like this for really close to the lashes. And I think I'm starting, you know, really close to the lashes with this darker color. See how dark it is. If I need a black maybe or something in this look too. Usually I use a black just to get a little bit more, you know. But maybe it's enough with this one. It looks really pretty actually as a liner. I'm going to try and use it as a liner to begin with. Now it's not as dark as I thought, so I will take this brush and just use it in the outer corner like this. I think it's better for this, and then I will add a little bit of black, I think, the way I usually do. That's a really pretty color. And taking a bit of the middle color here together with the other one here, both of them together, to blend it out here around it. Darker brown also under the eye, really close to the lashes here. Now I got it on my waterline, but you know, doesn't really matter. I will probably use a brown there anyways. So as a blend between those two, I'm taking also both of the shimmery ones together. Because why not, you know. shimmery ones together. And going over just like that, really simply like that. I will take this one and the dark one together. Just the same brush, because why not? Between these two. I will just use the same brush that I used for the inner corner and go under the eye with this one and this one together maybe. Because why not? Pulling it out a bit. Whoa, those are gorgeous together. These colors are really pretty, I have to say. Like, because they're so yellow in the undertone. Really nice. I'm actually taking it in here too, making it a bit darker, because I like this when it becomes a little bit straighter. Like here in the other corner, kind of filling it in like that, in a triangle. And then if it's too much under the eye, I will probably clean it up. And again, here as well, making sure that I have enough color here too. Because it tends to disappear and make it like very rounded looking, and I don't like that. One more thing I want to do is to take with the same brush, I think this light color. I will clean it up a bit. I'm taking the lightest color, a little bit in the middle here, under eye. Let's see what that will do. Like a little halo kind of thing in the middle, and you kind of have to, it's pretty creamy, so you kind of have to press it in and like blend it out like that a bit. Okay, so I think I'm done with this palette, and I need a little bit of a black. I use this Bourjois black kohl liner to line both waterlines. So for the black eyeshadow, I will use this duo from Guerlain, and the same brush that I used already, of course. The angle brush. Kind of stamp it in here. It's also kind of a creamy eyeshadow, so it's really good for lining the eyes a bit with. See the difference between this eye? It looks more complete than this without the black liner. The black liner makes a big difference, especially for blonde, you know, lashes and blue eyes. What is really nice with this one is that even if I put a little bit too much black, especially on this side, I could fix it a bit with these two eyeshadows here. They're pretty covering, so you know, yeah. So I managed to take out some of the black. I think this light eyeshadow, like a yellowish, also it goes really well with these colors. Light yellow from Josie Beaton, and since I did pluck my brows a bit here, and it's still a bit red, because it takes a while for that to go down on my skin tone. And on my skin in particular, maybe. So I am not taking it here because here I have the dark color already. So just where it's, you know, really kind of obvious here still. And a little bit around here too. I will use a tiny bit of this light golden shade for the eyebrow, like really high up and not all over. It's still a bit red, I can't believe that. This is the 10 eyeshadow palette from Natasha Denona as well. Since this palette isn't very talked about, I just wanted to mention that these colors are more of a satin and excellent for mature eyes, and not shimmery. Like if you don't like that shimmer, I mean, I go with everything, but you know, other people. So I'm taking this really light yellow here. Yellow, not yellow. It's like a golden highlighting color. Maybe this side. A small brush. No, that's kind of really small brush. I was kind of going for inner corner, it seems, but what I really wanted to do was to take it up here, like a really thinnish line like that, and then to blend it down a bit. So I wanted to mention this Opi eye color in this really pretty kind of camel color, I think it is, pretty much medium brown like that. And it's called, now this color is called Ice Burgers and Fries. It was on one of those Nordic collections or whatever they've been called a few years ago. For foundation today I used this Smashbox Studio Skin in what color? 05. And finally, okay, I got already signs for the glasses because I had to empty the card, and there they are. Yeah, very nice. Okay, that was kind of not so bad, not as bad as I thought, but yeah, it's still there. I probably have to put a little bit of a concealer over there. I might just use this concealer for it. Anyways, this foundation, the way I used it before, it was really hard to put on. I still have redness here because I did go down with the Estee Lauder concealer, this one 1C, but just a tiny bit because the skin here is so thin that I can't really put a lot over there. So I usually put the sun powder over there, but I'm not going to do it today. Anyways, so this also Studio Skin, a 24-hour concealer. It's really nice as well. But I used something else under the eye. Today I used the Maybelline one that I put in another jar like this. It used to be with the sponge on it. I don't remember, eraser, lighting, something. I don't know, but it's a pretty color and it works really well. But the applicator been really crappy, so I put it in here. I broke the whole thing and I put it in here. And now I really like it. I thought I would use a little bit of this Essence Cubanita Baking Banana Powder. I'm not going to bake with it, like set the foundation. If you want to call it baking, then fine. Fine with me. I don't mind. I mean, that's pretty much what it is when you really set your foundation. If you kind of really push it into the skin, like, you know, like the good old days. Whatever. But it is pretty yellow, like this, but it's really light, so I kind of like it. Just taking this big brush like that. It is very yellow, as you can see, and then I'm just kind of pushing it in here. But when you put it on, it's not like it becomes yellow, you know. At least I can't see that. Putting it on this redness here too. And then whatever is, you know, too much, I will just brush it off. Now, if I want to use anything else on my skin after I apply the foundation, I do have to set it. Otherwise, it's just a mess. Streaky and not pretty. I think I will use this the Blonde's MAC powder that comes in this blingy package. It's a really pretty powder though, but it's kind of a pretty all over powder, glow like that, like in between bronzer and highlighter for my skin tone. I will take this fluffy brush from Smashbox. It's one of those for powder. It looks very strange. Has a weird shape to it. And I'm taking this powder, taking it a little bit really all over this brush, like that. See, you can see that it gives a sheen. It does not give a lot of color. It's more of a really pretty sheen like that. Now, since it became really flat and kind of dry looking, I want to go a little bit all over with this one first, and then see how much color I want to put, you know, add. Trying to be a bit softer with my, really like dusting it a bit all over like that. I thought I would go for this Essence Satin Touch Blush in this peachy color. Satin Coral it's called, it's number 10. It's a color like that, really pretty, with a slight satin sheen like it says. It really, that's exactly what it has, like that. I have some eyeliners here on the side I was trying out, thinking what I want to use. So just a brush like this. Starting here. Don't breathe in when you do these things. Everything nowadays is so finely milled that if you breathe when you put them on, not good. I'm going over it a little bit with this white, translucent white powder. I'm just using the same brush, I think. Oh no, you know what? I'm using this brush. because it's fluffier. This is a, smells so good, a YSL powder in the translucent white. They have only this one, I think, that looks like that. I thought to use an oldie but a goodie from Dior. This powder looks like that. It has a slight sheen in the middle and the rest is kind of matte. The bronzer itself is matte. So I will do that. Again, I'm taking the same brush. This is a really like universally nice brush to use for the face. Now this brush is picking up the color but very nicely. So yeah, going a little bit lower down, maybe like that. More on the outer part of the face, but also a bit inside. I suppose for the lips I could use something more peachy or more of a brown. So either way, this one is Dervish from MAC and this one is Brown Fig from Dior. I will put this one in the middle of the lips and this one in the outer corners. So I'm thinking to use this Shiseido in brown 757. It's kind of a neutral. This one is more yellow brown, this one is more grayish brown. But let's see what it will look like. I think that's kind of nice. A little bit too brown maybe, but I'm taking this a little bit lighter pink color from Emma Smashbox in the middle. Okay, so that's the camel look, and I know the lips are not that camel. And I suppose I don't have really that kind of brown or, you know, anything too yellow. Of course, you could always use the eyeshadows for it too. Why not use some of the eyeshadow on top of this? I want to see what it looks like. I'm just taking some of this middle color from here. Okay, so I just dabbed a little bit of this middle color and I used all my fingers on the lips. Just to get a little bit more of that color into the lips as well, you know? So that's a look from this Camel palette from Natasha Denona, and I really love those kind of colors. You know, it really goes, of course, well with blue eyes and blonde hair